going to quickly wrap it up with some actions and additional hacks and tweaks that you can use. So yes, sometimes you need paper to organize your thoughts and kind of do the data dump of all your ideas. If you're struggling to just looking at the screen, like, oh, I don't know what I need to do, what I need to type, what kind of tasks, then just get a piece of paper and start planning. You might need to use mind map. You might just need to write things down on a piece of paper. It really depends how best you and your brain operate. The key is that once you've organized your thoughts using paper, mind map, or whatever else you want, then you still transfer it all into the online system. And then obviously you don't risk losing pieces of paper, and it's all there, it's all easier to track, and it's all easier to automate as well. When you are working with a team and you want to delegate tasks, think through what do they need to do exactly, step by step. What resources do they need? Do you need to give them images? Do you need to give them logos or documents or anything else? Do they need logins and passwords to access certain sites and systems in your business? Do they need to have files or access to files or designs in your business? So think through all the possible what's that your team will need in order to complete the task. Next question is where. So where is this information stored? Where is it shared? Where is it used within the task? Where is it accessed from? And again, give them instructions where they can find the information and where, as they're completing the task, they will need to use it. So when is obviously important. When do you need to have the task done by? When do they need to confirm to you that they've received the task, they've understood what they're going to do? When do you want them to check in? Do you want them to check in like every week if they're working on a month-long project? Do you want them to check in every day if you're just doing a task that's going to be like a several-day duration? So if your team understands when you want to hear from them, then they'll be able to tell you what's happening, and you'll know without stressing out that things are not gonna work out, that you're not getting things done according to your deadlines, because you'll have this much better communication between different parties. Why is important? Often when we delegate, we don't bother to tell our people why we want them to complete something, and then we rely on them just following the instruction we've given them. But if you actually explain why something is important in your business, how it fits in the bigger picture of your business, then you often find that people will take ownership of the task a lot more, and they'll really want to help you, and they'll often think of more even creative, better ways of how something can be done. But ultimately, it will still be achieving the same purpose, the same why for this task. So how is not necessarily even about how to do it, like step by step, micromanaging, do this and this and this, but more how will they know it's a success. So if you've given someone, transcribe a video recording, how do they know they've done a good job for you? If you've given them designs for you to do on social media, again, how will they know they've done a good job? How can you also, on the other hand, how can they tell you if they're struggling with the task? Do you want them to email you straight away? Do you want them to Skype you? Do you want them to just post a comment on the task? So again, if someone isn't afraid to tell you, actually I'm struggling, I'm misunderstood, or I haven't got the right information, or it's not something I've got experience doing, if you have this openness in the business, then it will be a lot easier for you to establish good working relationships with your team. And finally, how will you evaluate the result? Not just how that they know it's a success or it's a failure, but how will you know what they've done was a good job or not? So are you going to go through it yourself? Are you going to test it? Are you going to get someone else to test it? Or are you just going to rely on the fact that they've said they've done it? So you're going to trust them that it's been done properly. When you're planning your tasks and assigning them to different days, always leave a buffer of time for unexpected things, because unexpected things will come up and will happen. Like, I'm recording this webinar now. It should have been done ages ago, and I should have been doing completely something else now. But because things happened, now I'm still recording. So things like this will happen. Technology will let you down. Clients will have an emergency. Your family will have emergencies. You'll plan for something to take half an hour, and then it will take you 2 hours. Not because, you were underestimating, but just because something else turned up. So leave a buffer of time, and then you won't be always fighting for breath and trying to just stay on top of your workload. So it's better to overestimate how long something takes than underestimate. If you overestimate it, means you have this buffer, so you can then do something maybe in advance for the next day, or just take time off and do some reading or learning or social media marketing or whatever you want to do with your time. But if you underestimate it and you run out of time, then either you'll look bad in front of your clients, or you'll end up working really long hours in order to catch up. Number 5, document any step-by-step processes you want your team and yourself to follow to be consistent. So, like I've shown you in my business examples, that we have blog post publishing process that follows certain steps every week once the post gets published. When I used to delegate publishing of posts, then we also had a checklist of things that I wanted my VA to follow when post was published. With VMA webinars, I have a checklist of steps that need to happen when a new webinar is being set up, of what things need to happen in all different systems. And also tomorrow, when the webinar's been and done, so what do I need to do in order to add it to Virtual Marketing Academy and make it part of the membership side? Again, there is a set of steps that need to happen. And if I don't have it written down, even for myself, I'm a lot more likely to forget something, not do it, and then like, oh, I forgot that, and then I have to go back and kind of edit. So this then wastes time. So if you have this step-by-step process documented, then it saves you time. It makes you more consistent with how you do stuff in your business, and also it makes it easier to delegate work to someone else. So think of projects within the fabric of your business. Obviously, each project is not a standalone thing that just happens on its own, especially if you have a very small team or if it's just you working in the business. Then anything you do on other projects affects other stuff in your business. So if you spend more time on marketing projects, then you have less time for admin and financial management projects. If you spend more time working on your website, you might have less time doing social media marketing. If you need to spend a lot more time on client projects and client work, you'll have less time for marketing and admin, for example. So you need to always think how other projects and activities that you do can impact on delivery. So in professional project management, it's about risk management, working out the risks attached to different projects and finding ways how we can mitigate and lower those risks. Also, it's about resource management, to ensure that we have sufficient resources to complete projects, time allocation. But if you're just you running your own business, I don't want to overcomplicate things for you. So just be always mindful that even if you plan this perfect project for your, website launch, and then suddenly you get the big project work from your client, which you didn't want to turn down just because you have a website to launch, you'll need to then think, okay, so now I'm going to be working a lot more on the client work. So how will this impact my web design project? Do I need to hire someone to help me? Am I just going to delay it by a couple of weeks so I have more time to do it? Or think of other ways how you can still, stay on track with the rest of your business. And if you find yourself moving a certain task again and again, day after day, week after week, and you're still not getting it done, so kind of stop yourself and think, oh, okay, so am I just procrastinating here because I really don't want to do this task, I really don't want to do my bookkeeping, so I keep postponing it and postponing it, or, you know, I don't know, updating my website, or creating a Facebook page, or whatever that you keep kind of shying away from doing. Or maybe it just doesn't actually need doing in your business, and deep down, you know, actually it's not that important, I don't need to do it. Yes, some time ago I thought, oh, it would be a good idea if I did it, but now, several weeks later, you realize that actually it's not important and it's not gonna make a massive difference to your business. So in this case, just let it go. I don't know, delete it from your task list, or find someone else who can do it for you.